What's up, YouTube? It's artisanmc, and I just wanted to drop a quick one about this Mowry stuff about her marriage and whatnot. Because I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about. Now, you guys know I've talked plenty of times about marriage and how marriages actually work in the modern era, and how it gets fucked up in the modern era. But when I heard this video, a shout out to BGS for putting it up, I heard the video of what she was saying. While I disagree with the fact that she called it a success, that's kind of woman trying to put a positive spin on something for themselves. I do agree with what she said. I do. And listening to BGS's video and hearing TLA talking about it is that he actually knows. Because the stages he was lifting off, the years and stuff, is what I went through. So I know that he's been through, right? So I thought it was a bit interesting because people were shocked with what she said. And I was just more curious who was going to actually pick it up and talk about it. Because I know where I am. There's not a lot of people talking about no fucking marriage. They're not. They barely talk about having a relationship. So I was really curious if they would even touch the story or not, right? But I'll say this. What Tia was saying about growing in a relationship, yes, that happens. Yes, that happens. Okay? You start out at, say, 25 with somebody, you're 25, they're 25. 5 years later, you're not the same person you were when you got married. You're not. They are not the same person they were when you got married. You run in another 5 years, and now you're 10 years from the initial start date, and now you're 35. You are not the same person. You are a different person. Your wants and desires have grown and changed. And primarily because you have been in a relationship for 10 years. The same thing that makes you grow is the thing that you're there. So when Tia talking about you can grow out of a marriage, yes, you can grow out of a marriage. You can. But I add this caveat. If you haven't done enough growing on your own. See, this is why folks tell you not to get married early, because you're still growing. We already know from being in the space, men don't really settle, get control of their whole faculties until they get like 30, 35. That's when you should probably be getting married, right? Now you got your wits about you. You're not being ruled by your peers. Hopefully. Women, they're just now getting close to their sexual peak before the factory is shut down altogether, right? So if they got married early, got their kids out the way, and now they're just hitting 30 and 35 with, I am woman now, and I'm starting to get those urges, you're going to have a problem. She's going to, look, she may love the hell out of you, but she's going to be tired of your ass eventually. You will be the next thing that she's tired of and wants to grow up. Now, it's kind of messed up how life and biology plays it. Men start getting settled after 35. Women start getting more riled up. It's a messed up game, but it's biology. It's just the way it is. That's why I say the only person that has equal sex drive as a teenage or 20-year-old boy or man is a 40-something-year-old woman. That's when it matches up. That's it. That's when it matches up. But for a guy 35, 40, his matchup is for a female in her early 20s. That's where he matches up. He's got all the resources she can want. He has all the maturity. And she is the hottest thing going. Looks nice on his arm. If she's not, got some couth about it, you can take her around some places and she look awesome. Right? Same thing with an older chick with a bunch of money and a boy toy. Why do those even exist? For that reason. So you can grow out of a marriage, especially if your marriage is not a union that can actually grow. Right? That whole thing that TLA was talking about is that you don't feel the butterflies and shit anymore. Women always try to look for the butterflies. I've talked about this with my ex-wife. Chasing that butterfly like a drug addict. Only way you're gonna find it again is if you keep messing with multiple people. It's not supposed to be there forever. It's not. It's unsustainable. It is a feeling. And feelings subside or die down or you get used to shit. It's just what it is. But modern women don't want to understand that. As soon as the butterflies are gone, they want to jump out. They want to find it again because they feel like they're losing something if they don't have it. No, you're just coming back to normal. You are settling down. You're not all agitated and whipped up into a frenzy with your emotions. Now you have settled down. Your emotions are stable. It's like a pot with the fire on. Yes, a boil is unsettling, but you don't want it to boil over, so you turn the heat down so the boiling can settle the fuck down. Same thing. So you can't outgrow a marriage. It just depends. Your experiences within a 10-year span married to the same person will be different and also based on the person that you're with. But your experiences in life have changed too, because more than likely you work different jobs, you do different stuff, you have different experiences. And your mind starts growing and changing. You start thinking about different things that you want, which may be different from when you started. Now, where it can be a problem is if you don't have that communication, be able to talk to your partner, and I just say partner not in the friendship we co-pilot sense, but in the sexual, this is the person I do these things with, right? Since if you don't have a type of relationship where you can bring stuff up like that and have that conversation and actually change the relationship a little bit on the fly and make it work for the both of you, you will end up splitting. You will grow out of that relationship, especially if it's locked into a place where you only understand things in a juvenile way. You will have a whole problem. That will not be the shoe that you wear forever. It will not. It will not be the wind beneath your wings. It will be the break of air when you sit down. It will. That's just what it is. And it's nothing against necessarily the other person. It just means everybody comes at things at a different point and at a different level. Right? Some people can grow in a relationship, in a marriage, and have their marriage still be the thing that they can have for many years and have complete, friendship and companionship with each other. Some people can do that. Some people can, which means they have to find their companionship and their fun and stuff away from that spouse. The spouse is not the one that's into that shit. They're just not. I think I talked about this last week that I was working in this resident's house, and I didn't recognize her because she works at the place where I get my coffee. I didn't even recognize her. But I came to do some work in their house, and the two of them are sitting there side by side at a table. They both have computer screens, and they're both playing video games side by side together. two of them, two dogs, dual systems, gaming it out. They look happy as shit. You know why? Because they actually know each other. They can actually do some things together, although they may be gaming separately. They are still doing some things together. I don't think that's rubbing them the wrong fucking way. But if one of those people in that marriage, because they are married, if one of those people in the marriage thought, oh, gaming is stupid, you need to stop doing that. You're spending too much time on that shit. And that was the kind of stuff that was going on, they'd be divorced. They would. They would either outgrow each other or outgrow that relationship. Because relationships can be limiting and confining. They can. That's why it depends on the type of relationship or marriage, I should say, that you have. If your marriage can't move and grow with you guys, you will grow out of that shit like an old pair of pants. They will be high water. And you'll be like, yeah, this don't fit no more. This is too constraining. Too constraining. Nope, I need to breathe. So while Tia wanted to call it a success, I don't see it necessarily as a success when you divorce. I can see it that you learn something from that divorce. And what you gain, the knowledge that you gain from it is a success. I don't think the divorce in and of itself is a success. That's a failure. To me. But that's just me. To me, that's a failure. Because you failed to maintain this situation, right? You failed to maintain this. I don't see how you count that as a success unless you were looking to see what would make it fail. Like, oh, we found the one thing that would make it fail. Well, that's very easy. In most modern marriages, infidelity. Plain and simple. Or, excuse me, the number one cause, money. If you got money, there's only one other thing left, infidelity. So that'll be the one that'll get you. And on a long enough timeline, male or female will do it. They will. I don't doubt that shit at all. Because you can't tell me somebody that's been with the same person for 35 years have never felt the urge to tip the fuck out. That's just standard for the human condition. Angry Man has talked about it many a times. The Coolidge effect is a real thing. You can figure that out with a chick you met tonight. As soon as you hit that shit the good couple of times that you cool with, you'll be done with her. You'll be probably done looking at her. Like, yeah, this is okay. You want to go have breakfast or get some lunch? Nah, I think I want to go be by myself. You'll be done. And it won't necessarily be personal to her. It's just that you're done. You've hit your limit with that person. There's nothing else there for you. You were there for one reason, mission accomplished, time to move on. Lift up the landing gear and let's get out of here. So I just wanted to drop my 2 cents on that because I thought it was actually very interesting that she put that out there into the universe. And being that I've watched Tia and Tamara grow up, I think they might actually be a little younger than me. It's actually pretty informative to see where people in that age group are when it comes to understanding marriage and relationships. I don't necessarily see it as a negative sign because this isn't the 50s anymore. It has not been the 50s for a long fucking time. So people have not stayed together for long periods of time for a while. For a while. Now, being a Gen Xer, I can't think of people being together that long. There's very few people I can know from growing up that were married the whole time until one of them dropped dead or something. My own family included. But it's like I always say, all relationships end, even marriages. They all end one way or the other. There's only two ways they end. You either die, they either end by death or by choice. That's the only two ways they end. And the choice is you know you want more and you can't get more with this person, or you want to do things that this person does not want to do. And you can't really force a grown adult to do them. You're going to be at an impasse. Put it this way. Dr. Tiasan has talked about this, sexless marriages. When a man or female in a sexless marriage for a number of years finally says, I've had enough and I want a divorce, was that them outgrowing that relationship, that marriage? Or was it just a failure? This is how marriages can be confining. And yes, you can outgrow it. Maybe that person, male or female, got to that point. Is like, look, this is important for my mental health. You cannot be starving me out on this. And if you fail to move and work with me and bend with me, compromise or something, then fuck it. We don't need to do this no more. I'm out. And some people can say at that point, they successfully escaped. Somebody can say it was a failure. Your marriage failed. Doesn't matter. You know why it failed. It doesn't matter what people say. Your marriage is your marriage. It doesn't really matter what somebody else has to say about it. Doesn't at all. Doesn't change your marriage at all. It don't make it better. It don't make it worse. It just makes them the motherfucker judging some shit that they are not actually in, which is your marriage. So I'll always back that. Your marriage is what the hell you make it. And if you make it an all-encompassing ring of constriction, then that's what the hell it'll be, and you'll end up divorced sooner or later. If it's a place where you can actually share your ideas, your thoughts, your personal feelings and stuff like that, your goals, and you guys can actually work together to get those kind of things accomplished, or the other person gives you your space to do those things without being all insecure. Oh, why are you out there in front of all those people being nice to all those women? I'm a fucking singer. What are you talking about? If they can't deal with that kind of stuff, it will be constricted and you will be out of that relationship. You just will. You just will. Times have changed to where people know a lot more. They've had a lot more experience with the outside world, which means they know more things are out there. Perfect analogy of this is that movie by M. Night Shyamalan, The Village. It was all well and good as long as those people in that village didn't know that there was anything outside of that fucking forest. And outside of the forest, it was all monsters and shit like that. They was all fine living, believing that shit. As soon as one person found out that that wasn't the case, and the next person found out that wasn't the case, the jig was up. All that little poly purebred bullshit that they was doing was out the window. They had to start making some deals with the people who knew to try to keep the bullshit going, keep that paradigm from shifting. But that's not what's happening anymore. Too many people know. Too many people know that this institution is not all it's cracked up to be, and people, males and females alike now, can get screwed badly. Or it can be the best thing for them. But at the end of the day, it's about you. You and who you pick and how you two work together. And if you don't work, it will fail. And if you do work, it will succeed. But it's going to be dependent upon you, mostly. So that's it. That's my little spiel on it, my little PMDM on that. I just wanted to drop some thoughts because marriage is not a thing that I actually hate, even having failed at marriage, having one divorce. Eventually, at some point, I will probably get married again, but I'm more cautious on it now as an adult than I was as a 20-something year old getting married.
because as a 20-year-old getting married is about the feelings and what I thought should be happening. At this age, it's more about what I understand I want for the rest of my life and what we are going into the rest of this life to do. Because it ain't about having no damn kids, I can tell you that much. No, that's off the table. That's done. So a marriage now for me at this age is all about companionship and who you check into the grave with, who's going to be on your insurance documents and stuff like that in case you pass, and having a decision on if they going to unplug your ass from a ventilator or not. That's what marriage after a certain point, after kids and stuff like that, means. It is about some kind of partnership because you need the companionship more than you need all the other shit. You have to be able to trust this person, and they have to be able to trust you. So that's my spiel, my 2 cents. Let me stop before I keep going on and on and on and on. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. $sign artisanmc and PayPal artisanmc as well. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.